What's up guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how I made Sora's Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. Hey guys, my name is Aiden. Welcome to MakerDude 3D. I'm just going to give y'all some background of the Keyblade real quick and then we'll jump right into the build. Okay, so Sora's Keyblade is essentially a giant 3-foot long key from the game called Kingdom Hearts. It's wielded by this kid named Sora who has big pants and even bigger feet and is essentially used to kill Heartless, and he just goes around whacking them until they die. It's a good, clean game. I give it an 8 out of 10, and I would definitely recommend it. Alright, now we got the background stuff out of the way, I'm going to go talk about the files, support placement, slicing, and then obviously 3D printing, get all that stuff done with. So go to your internet browser, go to makerworld.com, and then go to the search bar and type in Sora's Keyblade. And you'll see a couple of options here. There's the original version. I'm not going to be using this version. I'm actually going to be using the other version, the updated version. It's just the updated version of this for a couple of reasons. So if you go down to the description, he changed the hand grip from smooth to woven. So you can see that in this picture right here. He actually changed it to woven. I honestly kind of like how more intricate it makes it, so I'm going to be going with that. But the main reason is number 4. He updated the core so that way you can put a dowel rod running through the middle of it, adding that extra stability. So you don't have to do that, you can do the other one if you want, but this is what I'm going to be doing. And then you go to over here, and if there's some of you who don't have Bamboo Lab printer, you can probably find it somewhere else, but if not, you can just download the STL files right here by clicking that. I'm just going to show you in Bamboo Studio because it'll just open in Bamboo Studio just like this. There we go. So he actually has everything oriented really well, and all the supports are already in there. But you might be worrying about printing these things vertical, because if you look at them, they're tall. And if you know anything about printing, if the layer lines are like this, you can snap them in half. But you don't actually need to worry about that because we're going to be running a dowel rod through the center of these. So the dowel rod is obviously going to break before the blade does. So I just worry about looks instead of, printing one sideways and then having to smooth it down and all that stuff. I'm not finishing this. I might finish it another time for another video or something, but I just want it to look as good as it can. And then obviously these pieces put together, so I'm going to have to do a bit of welding. So we are going to get to some printing. Okay, while that was printing, I decided to take a jump start at this because I can't film all of it, right? So I made the hilt of the Keyblade already, and essentially what I did is I put all the pieces together. It was pretty easy to figure out how they all went together, and I welded them, and I'm going to show you how to weld except on the gray pieces. So basically I did all of the yellow piece welding first, and then there's this black piece which isn't welded, it just sits in there and it's trapped between the 2 yellow sides that are hugging it, just like that. And then I'm going to end up hot gluing the little bolts in, and I'll get some footage of me doing that. The chain, what I did is, it's essentially like all the other chains, like this one, except there's a bump on the side instead of a hole. So I had to sand the divot like this. I had to sand this divot on both sides, or not the divot, where it comes out on both sides, and then stick it in there. It's really hard, and honestly that's probably the only way to do it. For the other keychains, what I'm going to be doing is figuring out a way to weld them or something, because all I have left to do is just a bunch of gray welds. So I'm going to be welding the chains and then putting on the rest of the Keyblade, and then again hot gluing these rivets. Okay, before we start welding and stuff, I want to talk about dowel rods. So I went to Home Depot and got a dowel rod for about $4. I think it's 4 feet long. It's a little bit too long for the Keyblade, but basically what I did is I brought the black handle because these hadn't printed yet. I just use it as a reference. It's actually kind of a bit tight. It's kind of hard to get on there, but with a little bit of pressure you can get it on there and then all the stuff. But the good thing about that is when it's sitting in the Keyblade, if you wobble it, you're not going to hear a rattling sound coming from the inside of the Keyblade because there's a loose dowel rod. So actually the guy who made the file said that he used a 1/4 inch wide dowel rod in diameter. I actually used this is a 1/2 inch. So it's twice the size, but it fits snugly and there's no loose room or anything. There was actually one part on the hilt, the part like right here, right there, that little hole, the hole in the yellow. I had to get a drill and just kind of make the hole a little bit bigger so that way it fit through, because it wasn't wanting to fit through, but it wasn't that much of a problem. It just kind of, it works now. It fits in really nice and almost loosely, but I'm not really worried about it. And when you're selecting a dowel rod, make sure to get one that is not warped. You can bend them within reason because they're kind of small, but make sure that the one you aren't getting is warped, because most of the things that you're going to find at any hardware store are going to be warped. So make sure you just eye check it and make sure you just pick a really good dowel rod. I'm going to get all these gray pieces in, and then we're going to get to some welding. Alright, this thing looks fantastic. This is huge. Check it. Look at it. Oh yes. Oh yes. What I'm talking about. Okay, so besides that, I'm going to grab a pen and mark the top of this. So hopefully I can cut just where it needs to be. This way it needs to be cut. And then I'm gonna cut it. Alright, we got it cut and we're gonna see if it fits. Moment of truth. I'm not gonna bother putting on the two parts. Oh yeah. Oh well, there's a little bit of a gap, but I think I can honestly, if I press it down, and I think if I solder it, then I can just deal with it. I think that'll work. All right. Well, we're gonna get right to all of the soldering and stuff. Let's go.
We're timeless, sailing through, but tonight, no, we can't go far. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally breathe. And I know it cannot last, but at last I can finally see.
Well, hey guys, thanks for sticking with me till the end. Like, comment, and subscribe for some more epic content, and enjoy the footage.